Bearcat Bounce podcast. Back at it again. Monday. Monday. Boy, oh boy, what a Monday. What a Monday. Monday. Following something that happened on Monday that makes this Monday an even more special Monday than most Mondays. Talk about that. The Calhoun era is upon us. Jared Calhoun, new head coach of your Cincinnati Bearcats basketball program. Monday, excitement abounds. Oh, I can feel it in the air. We're going to talk about that a lot. That's going to pretty much be what the full show is. So strap in. Let's get excited because this is the time to really break down what is to come and the excitement that is with it. We're going to have Lenny Stokes on later on the show. That's also happening on this Monday. But it's also a Monday where, of course, my guys, my crew, the legends, and one absolute GOAT. So without further ado, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, and Ryan Royer. Gentlemen, how are we?
Busy, but good. Busy, but good. You know, that's kind of the tagline. Although this weekend wasn't all that busy, or at least in terms of my life during a typical coaching search.
Right.
This one was pretty chill. I had a pretty normal weekend. The days before a hire, which has never happened before, but here we are. Yeah. It was good.
It is crazy. It was one of those where like the coaching carousel was like going around, and it was just like, the kid that goes around the carousel one time and just says, "Hey, that was a fun ride. I don't want to do it again," and gets off and just real quick visit. It was one of those scenarios where, hey, you had the target and the target was acquired, and that's all that was needed to be done. So the weekend was good. That's a good way to put it, Chad. Now Monday is upon us, and that's when I got to turn down and say, Aaron, my man, how are we?
Doing all right. Spent a little bit of the weekend in Cincinnati, actually. Got 5 inches of my hair cut off.
No way. Let's see it.
I did.
The grand reveal on the Jared Calhoun podcast.
It's still here, but it's a lot shorter.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Little Momoa action back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. Happy that one era is over and a new era has begun.
Very nice. Very nice. Aaron got wind that the Calhoun hire might happen, and he said numbers on the BVP are going to be insane on Monday. Let's cut off 5 inches of this hair.
Yeah, very big amount of hair.
Yeah. Good point. Didn't even put 2 and 2 together because I've never even have seen those amount of inches. Ryan, my friend, how are we?
I'm good. It was a great surprise today. Pleasant surprise. Not that, something that we were all suspecting, but a little reinvigoration in the past 6 years of pain. You could argue more than 6, but it's been a tough couple 6 years, and you kind of feel like there's something special with Mr. Calhoun. So it brought a nice bright spot to my Monday. Mondays aren't always the best, but a Jared Calhoun Monday definitely raises the roof a little bit. Had a good weekend, got a lot of good sun. Yeah, there we go. A little show action. Got some sun, man. The weather was great this weekend in Cincy.
Kelsey got burnt yesterday.
Yeah, my forearms are kind of toasty from just sitting out on patios.
I want to hear about your forearms.
Tell us more about those forearms, Ryan.
I got to work on them a little bit, man. They're not as vascular as they used to be back in the football days.
The veins aren't popping anymore.
They are a little bit, only when I get on the show and see you, Brent. But
amen.
Great weekend and a great Monday with when the news broke.
Absolutely. You know what? It's also a Monday that I'm excited because I get to mention the greatest auto care store in the world. Location, the stop and go, visit and stay. And that's Danco Transmission and Auto Care. You know what? Danco Joe is probably hyped this afternoon, evening, whatever it is. If you're in California, it's the afternoon. But if you're in Utah, it also is the afternoon. So how are we? But yes, Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Get $10 off the next oil change, 10% off your next fixing. Mention the 2023 Horizon League Coach of the Year. Mention the 2026 Mountain West Coach of the Year. Mention the fastest coach to 50 wins in the history of Utah State basketball. And Danco Joe will hook you up. Yes, all those are Jared Calhounisms and Danco Transmission and Auto Care. We love you. Shouts to Danco Joe. Well, guys, let's dive right into it. As we mentioned, Chad, it was a coaching search that was it's like Where's Waldo, but like for 3-year-olds, you can kind of find the answer pretty quickly. But how did this unravel kind of for you? Not really a full peel back of the curtain, but somewhat of a, obviously the West News comes out. Calhoun's name is highly invested inside of the minds of all Bearcat fans and national media and coaches and everyone, as we mentioned on last week's BBP. But how did things kind of trickle into your mind process as the news came available today?
I was just waiting today. I mean, it was a matter of who's gonna break it, when, like a lot of just sitting by the phone and waiting for something to pop up. I knew it probably wasn't gonna get to be us because I mean, I still don't think it's like, to the point of signed, sealed, delivered UC announcement yet, obviously, or we have an announcement from UC, but there was enough on, every side of this thing that it's just a matter of, getting the thumbs up or, having whatever happen. I don't know, man. It was definitely weird. Nobody, not once did somebody even remotely indicate to like keep an eye on ... that wasn't followed by the name Jared Calhoun. I talked to national championship coaches. I talked to the lowest level of like former college basketball staffers that are in my Rolodex.
Right.
Everybody had the exact same thing to say. Jared Calhoun. Like, and talking to them, they said everybody they talked to said the same thing. Jared Calhoun. There was zero intrigue in this thing, really, from the minute it got out that Wes was let go. That's when it started. Now, there were a couple people along the way that, I'm sure Cunningham's going to do his due diligence. Calhoun's team is still playing, so he's got a little bit of time to make sure that, all the bases are covered. But like, shocked if this doesn't end with Jared Calhoun. This is going to end with Jared Calhoun. There were people on day one, like Jared Calhoun, like don't even overthink it. We got to version 1.1 of the hot board. You know how mad that makes me? I love hot board season. We didn't even make it to version 2.0 on the damn hot board because we don't clickbait people. We don't, we're not going to engage in making stuff up or changing stuff around when all of the information was basically covered in hot board 1.1.
Yeah.
Everything indicates that Cincinnati is looking at Jared Calhoun. The rest is kind of window dressing, and it's not often that something happens like this where it's linear. It is a straight line. There was no twists or turns. Not exactly great for business. So if you haven't subscribed to Bearcat Journal, 75% off, $35 for a full year of service. If you're listening, I know there's a lot of you out there that aren't members. Go do that now because this coaching search didn't provide a lot of sales opportunities, if you will. 65. I don't know Jared Calhoun. I know a lot of people that do, but I do not know him personally yet.
That'd be fun to get to know him. Hopefully in the coming days. Aaron, Chad is obviously the king. Sits on a nice throne there in the Cincy Light Studios. You are in many ways the prince. You're on the airwaves quite a lot for a Bearcat Journal. You've been having a pulse on this whole coach search, as well as just the season and college basketball season in general. Take me into the mind of the 5 inches off the hair Aaron Smith as the news finally came out today about Jared Calhoun.
When you go into a coaching search, I think everybody has their own expectations of what you want out of a new head coach. And by all indications, Jared Calhoun checks every box that you could want as a Bearcat fan. He has won everywhere he's ever been. He is part of the Huggins tree. He has been here before. He has a degree from Cincinnati. I don't know what else you could want out of a coach. He's offensive minded to the point where if you watched any of the tournament, he was heralded at some points during the tournament, and particularly in the first round, as an offensive genius. Again, I don't know what else you would want as a Bearcats fan, especially coming out of what you came out of with Wes Miller. It seems an upgrade. What's the face, Chad? I don't know what your face is.
I was looking at something.
Oh, you're like smirking. I'm like, what am I saying wrong?
Not you.
I'm used to that face.
It wasn't for you this time. I promise.
All right.
Promise, Aaron. It's promised. I'm going to continue the around the horn, and Ryan Royer, your basketball knowledge has expanded tremendously this season, if I have to say, and it comes at the token of saying goodbye to Wes Miller and saying hello to Jared Calhoun. Your basketball acumen is only going to rise from here. What do you have to say as you see Jared Calhoun, offensive wizard? I've seen some people out there, pretty big basketball accounts, NBA basketball accounts, that say Jared Calhoun is a top 5 offensive mind in the game, which is just insane to read, and now know that is coming to Cincinnati. What was your vibes, your feeling as we talked on the phone yet again. What was that, Wednesday? And before you know it, we're like, is Calhoun really going to happen this quickly? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It seems like all signs are pointing that direction. So it did happen that quickly, and now here we are talking about it on Monday night's BBP.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of those points Aaron just made. Like the fit, it just felt like destiny in a way. It's we take a guy like Wes Miller and we bring him in to Cincinnati, but he's a UNC guy. He stayed down in North Carolina to coach a smaller level team, and he had decent success. Compare that to Calhoun, who's coached at Cincinnati as a student assistant, coached with Bob Huggins, who is arguably one of the greatest Bearcat basketball coaches and really elevated the program to unseen levels back in those 90s with all those legendary moments and players. So then he goes to West Virginia with Huggins again. They go to the Final Four. So he establishes his pedigree under a Cincinnati culture program builder. And then he goes and he wins a lot more than West did at 3 different levels. So he climbs up the ranks from Division II to Youngstown State and then to Utah State. And he's just elevating every year. And he's doing it by being a pioneer at the offensive side with fast transition basketball, utilizing analytics. So he's a guy that tries to be at the cutting edge of the game, and that's not something we've seen at all here from Wes. And you kind of have two guys coming in like from smaller programs. They get elevated up here, and if you're doing like a direct comparison between the two, you can't help but just say like, yeah, like all signs point to Jared Calhoun being better than Wes. And obviously he has to be, and that's what we're expecting. But just the amount of success he's had at all levels, being a pioneer of offense, and he's always doing it with less. And now he's gonna have more here at Cincinnati than he's ever had. And he's going to be at a place where he's familiar with the community and what basketball means to the university and to the city. So I'm excited. I mean, I really think he can elevate us into that like top quarter of the Big 12. And I know we said last week, we were talking like, hey, do you think he can get us into the tournament year one? And the more you look into this guy and you look at what he like, how they took down Villanova and hung in there with Arizona more than we did. And we have we have more money and a better roster. And you're like, there's just something different about Jared Calhoun, different than Wes, obviously. So you just feel like, yeah, you hate to have a coach get fired, but you just feel in such a better spot. And I feel like this guy is just, he's an evolver. He's not stagnant. He's always getting better. He's always he's utilizing cutting edge shit on the offensive side, technology. So get him to frickin' Clifton and let's get back to this tournament, man. I can't wait for the press conference.
Yeah. Me
Brett,
neither. Me neither.
Let's get to a couple chat things. Do I believe the rumors that Calhoun didn't break the news to his team? That's just the era live in. The news broke right when they landed. I don't think UC or Calhoun wanted it to come out like it did, but it did. Like my understanding was generally like, when coaches want to talk to their team first, sometimes both sides intend for that to happen. And somebody in the national media gets a different source or something they feel comfortable running with, and it gets out. I don't think this was a Calhoun side let it out. I don't think UC let it out. I'm not sure exactly where Norlander got that from, but I don't think they were just landing from San Diego, and I think they still had a drive to get back to Logan, because there's not really like an airport big enough there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't think he had a chance to tell his team before it got out, but I don't think that was intentional. I think that was living in 2026. I mean, look, I can tell you this. Everybody was waiting all day. Like, I started texting people at 7:05 this morning as I was taking Kelsey to school. So, like, everybody was on high alert that this job might get filled today. Norlander, I mean, he was right, but like, wherever he got it from was ahead of what the normal schedule probably should have looked like. Was the deal really done a week ago, like CBS indicated? What I will say on that is I can't verify a week ago. I know I was told late last week from somebody close to the other side of the situation, not the Cincinnati side, but more dialed in on the Calhoun side of things, that they would be like, things would have to go terribly wrong for this not to get across the finish line. So was it done a week? I'm always hesitant for that because I've been around this long enough that you wouldn't believe how many things you hear done that never even got close to done. But I do think going into the weekend, like, I don't think there was a whole lot of stress on either side about whether this was very likely to come together. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, I think there was I want you, you want me, like we want, let's do this together type thing that was established last week. So if that means that it was a done deal a week ago, sure. It, however you want to classify done deal. But I do think things were pretty far down this path going into the weekend.
Yeah, it just seems like the writing was somewhat on the wall, if you will, and it was just kind of a matter of time before the official announcement. And in today's day and age, no one wants to, obviously have news come out before that, but it's a race to see who's first. And sometimes when there's no guardrails to let you be first, then that's what happens. You're in the air, probably no Wi-Fi. You get a bunch of notifications when you land, and that's how the news came. It sucks it came out that way, but I guarantee it was not intentional at all.
Does this mean Corey Evans will no longer be with the program? My understanding, unless things change, is that Corey will still be with the program. That's not a guarantee because you've hired a new coach and he's going to get to make those final calls. But my expectation is that Corey will be back unless I hear something different. Does Calhoun have former players talk to the team before every game? That is something I've heard he did at Utah State. Considering the connection here, like he could just call Bob or text Bob and get in touch with every former Bob player. And my understanding is Calhoun and Mick are also pretty close. So
is he in the old school chat though that we found out about last night?
Probably not in the old school chat.
One
Hurley,
thing that I did
Mick,
hear,
and Izzo. What a weird chat that is.
I can only imagine that chat.
yeah. Can you imagine like the gifs and memes they send each other and that? Got to be great. That'd be legendary. But no, I kind of banking off that as well. I heard about this mentor program that Calhoun's done for a while, and it's like, talking to each player on the team that he has and just seeing what they're interested in after basketball. Is every single player looking to move on into the NBA, move on to continue playing overseas, this, that, or the other? Or are they, I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to try and go into the workforce, or I'm going to get my degree, trying to get to coaching. And then he links you up with a mentor and you have, video calls with him and whatnot. That pretty cool thing that he did back in the day at Youngstown State. And I'm sure he did at Utah State as well, with the links to Sam Merrill and all the different players that have now gone on to play in the NBA. But yeah, a couple things, Ryan. He is a big Cleveland Browns fan. I
Come on now.
heard about that. So that's a good connect for you there.
I'll take him down to Paul Brown. We could throw on our Jim Brown jerseys and cheer on our lovely Browns against the Joe Burrow Bengals. Hopefully breaking Aaron's heart once again.
Gotta roll with Shadur Sanders, if you will. But yeah, let's talk a little bit, Chad. The coach that the Bearcats are getting, from what obviously you've watched a lot of college basketball. But here's a couple things I read: point over, rifle action, empty veer, 45, cut timed, baseline distort the tag, slice screen, Corver screen, backdoor cut for a 2, decoy double stagger, skip to the big, rip action, Keller, false sev, strong side quarter, give to Collins for an open lining driving lane. Wow. Pop, gut Chicago into a shallow ghost flare, empty side. I mean, wow. Those are all offensive terms. Sorry if I just kind of spitballed all those to you. I truly don't know what all of them mean, but those are all workings of an offensive wizard. What is the coach that Calhoun is that you've been able to gather up to this point, Chad?
The one thing, like I haven't sat down and done like a deep film study,
right?
But the one thing that you'll hear a lot when you hear people break down his offense is his ability to manipulate defenders, manipulate getting this guy in a position he doesn't want to be. A lot of it you heard on there, like the tag man. The tag man is the help defender like on the weak side, typically the bottom weak side help defender that's supposed to cover like the roller on pick and rolls, or actions on the back weak side, the lower back side of the defense. And Calhoun's actions are to get that guy to do something he doesn't want to do, and then replace in that spot. And you saw it a lot in the Villanova game, and as much as they could against Arizona, with as good as Arizona is at just playing fundamentally sound.
I thought they got good shots against Zona, though. They just weren't falling for the most part.
Yeah. But a lot of that is because Arizona we talked about this. They make you shoot over top of them. They make you take shots that feel open, but they're contested. They're under duress. But a lot of that is he runs an offensive style that manipulates the defense, this is what this team likes to do defensively. We're going to look at this portion of their defense and we're going to exploit it. We're going to find out whatever their inefficiencies are, like Ryan talked about, using analytics or using synergy video stuff to, okay, this is how they've guarded this type of offense. This is what they're probably going to do. Here's the action we're going to use to exploit it. A lot of movement, a lot of cutting. It's just a good, fundamentally sound offense. It's modern in that it's threes and layups, but it's not shooting threes just to shoot threes. It's a lot of rim pressure. It's a lot of getting to the free throw line. It's how you run effective offense in 2026.
Boom. The dogs are barking. Excitement levels are high. Yeah, that's the main thing. It's kind of a very offensive minded, but I definitely saw in that Arizona game the defense was not backing down either. It was kind of a mentality. I mean, in all honesty, Arizona looked pretty spooked at one point in that second half when Utah State was making the comeback, and that's what you see. It seemed like a lot of confidence up and down the roster, a lot of just togetherness and communication, and just not giving up when they were down big. They could have easily just shriveled and gone away, and because I'm sure all the players have probably heard a little bit about coaching searches, little chatter here and there. I'll try and block it out as much as you can, but when you get down 16 to the best team in the country, all those things that you have heard could rear their ugly end, and all of a sudden you just give in and you say, all right, we're done. But no, they never back.
It happened 20 times in the tournament, Brett.
Yeah, right.
Where one of the elite 1, 2, 3 seeds, whatever, playing a close game for 25 minutes, and then the better team gets up 12-14, and next thing you know, it's 25. I mean, this was one of the larger margin of victory first 2 rounds in the history of the tournament. And and nobody would have blinked twice if Utah State had gotten in that situation. And next thing you know, they went from down 12 to down 21, and the game ends, you lose by 20, but everybody's like, damn, they played them tough for 32 minutes or whatever. And instead, they get down 14 or 16 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you look up pretty shortly thereafter, and it's 10, then it's 8, then it's 4. And you're like, is he going to screw this all up for us right now?
Yeah.
The crazy thing to me, though, was, Brent, what impressed me more than anything, Arizona kept throwing haymakers.
Oh, Barry's hit that 3. I was like, dagger. And then Utah State came back and had a response. I was like, oh, I guess not.
Arizona throws a just a monster shot to the chin, and Utah State just wobbled a little bit, got back up. I'm like, okay, this thing might actually go down to the wire. Now, Arizona was the better team, 21 offensive rebounds or whatever it ended up being. Just size and skill. They were clearly better than Utah State, but Utah State had that dog in them. Like
Yeah.
they were not scared of the Kitty Cats.
No, not at all.
And just as impressed with Friday. Let's not forget Friday.
Yeah, I mean, Villanova is a hot and cold team from 3.
Yeah.
When they're hot, they win pretty much every game. They were scorching hot on Friday. They hit 14 threes and you still pull out a victory? You're losing for majority of the second half and you still find a way to win. Extremely impressive. Extremely impressive to do that.
Down 10 to up 10 like that.
Yeah. 14 threes in a game and you still win. It's insane. Impressive. And I mentioned it as well, kind of his run throughout the year. He had, in-season losses to numerous teams, and he was able to come and pull wins against them in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. UNLV, Nevada, San Diego State, all teams that he lost to earlier in the year, including UNLV. They lost by almost 30. What was it, a week before the conference tournament? Turns around, beats them by 20. So it's a big interesting tip of the cap. I want to kind of get Aaron and Ryan's thoughts on this. Chad, you too. When it comes to kind of a path that a coach takes to take over, the climbing up the ladder, if you will. Calhoun mentioned how he was an assistant at West Virginia, took a big pay cut. Well, first off, when he was at Walsh, he was a part of 2 national championship winning teams, which cannot be discounted because it's a big time. It's NAIA, but they won national championships under Jeff Young, who's a legendary head coach from Walsh University. So big time opportunity there for Calhoun. Then he was at West Virginia as an assistant, takes a huge pay cut to be a head coach at Fairmont State, where he was able to go to the Final Four, I think the national championship game in 2017. Guess who the 2 of the other coaches in that Final Four were? One's Josh Schertz. He was the head coach at Lincoln Memorial. They were in the Final Four. And then, what's that?
Was Olin the other?
No. The other one ended up winning the national championship that year and just took down the Florida Gators. That's right. Yeah. Ben McCollum, who is the head coach now at Iowa. So, I mean, that's some pretty damn good head coaches that were in that Final Four in the Division II at Fairmont State. And a quick fun thing, Joe Mazzulla, Jared Calhoun was in Joe Mazzulla's wedding. Joe Mazzulla, head coach of the Boston Celtics. Pretty damn good connections there, if you will. Assistant coach at Fairmont State under Calhoun. Took over for Calhoun at Fairmont State when he left. And then, of course, obviously the success he's had at Youngstown State, turning into that 2 back-to-back NCAA appearances at Utah State. Utah State's only had 3 wins in the tournament coming into this year. He gets another win in year 2 at the helm. So it's just literally a boom, 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 boom. When it's that sort of slow rise where you're at a high level job as an assistant coach at West Virginia, you decide to become a head coach at a Division II school. A lot of people are mentioning the Kurt Signetti type thing, which I'm not gonna say anything. Let's take a deep breath there. But he was an assistant at Alabama, took a big pay cut to go be a head coach at a Division II level. So
who I hope we get to compare him to, Brent?
Let's hear it.
TJ Otzelberger.
Okay.
And Grant McCaslin. 2 younger guys, worked their way up, got into the Big 12, and then turned those 2 programs into teams that are competing in the top 5 or 6 of that conference with regularity.
TJ Otzelberger, without being a referee bitch.
Jesus.
Do you have to be a hater every time you speak?
I was just trying to get anything in at any point. So that's what I got.
Well, what are your thoughts on the path? This is a podcast. Interrupt and say stuff. I'm ready to hear Aaron Smith. Take it away.
I gave my 2 cents.
Oh my God.
Hey,
where is he?
He wanted the spotlight.
I just wanted to get the joke in.
joke has been fully received and fully admired. Yeah, it's awesome to see all these things. But I mean that rise, that's he made his way out the mud, if you will. And he had Rolly Massimino as his head coach at Cleveland State. Obviously left after 2 seasons playing there. Was an assistant, a student assistant for Bob Huggins here at UC. So I mean that's sort of a path. I don't think it can be undervalued because it's winning at every single level. It's not just you have one good year here, then you have a down year, another down year, then you bounce back, have another good year. He consistently had great years wherever he was and improved, kind of like what you were saying, Ryan. So I think that path can't be undervalued enough.
I agree. You're learning from a lot of great minds, and then you're executing it. Like him taking that pay cut and going to be the head coach. It's like, all right, I've learned. Like, let's benchmark all this learning and continue to grow and bring on guys and coach against guys that are, at the top of the game, whether it's NBA or whether it's college. It's kind of like, it's just, I don't mean to keep dunking on Wes, but it's just, if you just look at the two head to head, they're very, very different in terms of their experience, their rise, their background. And there's been a lot greater success for Jared Calhoun. And we're getting him like on his rise, It's turn around Youngstown State, set the world on fire in the Mountain West with Utah, back-to-back tournaments, win a tournament game this year. It's like he's on the up, and his trajectory's up because he learned, he built a foundation, and then he got his feet off the ground, and he continued to surround himself amongst good coaching talent and executing. So you're completely right. That path is the path. That it's like any way you do things in life. It's like you're not just gonna walk in the door and be a Roy Williams, a Patino. Like, you have to get exposed to a lot of different things, and you have to learn and execute and keep getting better.
He did, and he has. Let's talk about Calhoun in the modern era of college basketball. First off, read something that he has utilized in the past, and obviously don't know what his staff right now looks like, but where he has assistants that are dubbed, offensive and defensive coordinators for the staff. And he is big on the nature that oh wow, is this a live poll?
That's a live poll.
Where are you, like, how do you type 1 or 2 in the chat? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Wow.
I just saw it. I just saw it over there. It's new on StreamYard.
StreamYard, the gift that keeps on giving. How about that?
Does it work? It does.
1, 1, 1, 1.
It's the magic number.
Wait, so you just have to press 1 and then it immediately goes there?
If you press 2, it'll go to no.
Who said 2? XXF.
Wolfie.
All right, Wolfie. I mean, Wolfie's just going against the grain. I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Keep it going, Chad.
This is making sure it worked.
This is
beautiful.
beautiful.
I mean, we can't leave that there over Royer's face, though.
Yeah, just put it over mine. It's okay. I'll swallow the bullet. We need to have Royer's face bringing us the female audience. So, there we go.
I don't know how to move it.
Get the curmudgeon out of here. Oh,
there we go. I can hide it.
I guess we'll bring it back eventually. There we go. But as I was saying, Chad, the utilization of offensive defense coordinators on the staff, he said he really likes to have the ability for his coaching staff to feel like they have a true purpose and gives them the ability to kind of prove themselves while working on the job. I think we see this more and more in college basketball these days, is kind of an offensive and defensive type coordinator.
Wolfie, have you ever watched Chappelle's show when keeping it real goes wrong? Just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes keeping it real can go wrong.
Okay.
What were you saying, Britt? Was that to me?
Yeah, offense defense coordinator in college basketball.
Look, I think it's something that he's obviously put some value in. You know, he went out and got a guy to run the 25 defense. It worked really well. That first year at Utah State, I think they used it almost exclusively in year one. This year, it was more of a blend, which you kind of need to do because teams, especially that's a good league. Teams start to figure it out. They start to figure out the weaknesses. So instead of, just resting on it, he would mix in man, or he'd play primarily, go into a game where maybe they think he's going to play the matchup and played man. You saw against Arizona last night. There was a mix and match and blend of the two defenses. I thought in the second half, going to that zone, threw Arizona off a little bit from time to time. And then they would come out of it before Arizona really got comfortable. So I think he's evolved defensively. I still need to see it in the Big 12, but I do think he's open to that. Like, I run the offense and I get somebody that is well-versed, trusted, respected, and being able to come in and teach the type of defense that I think will work in the Big 12. So yeah, I think it's definitely something that's on the table. I think it's something that's very interesting. I think he's evolving because I was worried for a long time about, and just monitoring him as a name because of the connections. It's obvious that he's a guy that you kind of keep an eye on. His man-to-man defenses at Youngstown State were bad. He got it to not terrible, like the last year and a half he was there. But for the most part, like the first 5 years he was there, they were in the 300s on defense. And it was something I was concerned about. But it definitely at least looks like he's evolved. Part of that with the defensive coordinator that he hired for the Utah State move. So that tells me he's open to it. I think it's a possibility. It's obviously not going to be the same guy because that guy's the head coach of Tarleton State now. But he should have a pretty good Rolodex of ideas on who he potentially wants to come in and what he feels like he's going to be able to do defensively in a league like the Big 12.
When I know philosophy goes a lot into it, but when just the sheer rise in talent available at your disposal, athleticism, IQ, and everything that comes with moving up a level into the Big 12 with, let's just be honest, with more money at your disposal and whatnot. Do you think that all ties into the ability to have a better defense when you have the chance to go get kind of a two-way type player that fits what you want on offense, but also has the skill set to be good defensively?
Yeah. Being access to more money means you got access to players that can do more things, right? Like, and dealing with the NIL budget that they had, you're probably not going to be able to get a whole lot of guys that are really good at offense and defense. Even at 10 million, you're not going to get a whole lot of guys that are really good at offense and really good at defense. So, it's definitely a factor. More money opens a lot of doors. Danco Joe wants to know, will he bring any of his roster? Yes, I believe he will. Elamine, I think there's a strong possibility behind that. Nothing's, God knows the way that kid played in the tournament. Like when he goes in the portal, unless he goes in with a do not contact, and even if he goes in with a do not contact, there are going to be people reaching out. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. It's hilarious because you just listen to the people covering the Utah State game. It's like, how did Adlin Alamein end up at Utah State? Like, oh,
Because
he
he
had a
weighs
crossover.
18 pounds.
I mean, man, he has the frame, the look of what could be an awesome type
Shaq
scenario.
Thomas thinks that dude is skinny.
But man, he's got athleticism. He can shoot. He can shoot a little bit. I don't know. I would love him. Awesome addition if he is able to come in. One thing I thought was cool was when Calhoun was interviewed at Utah State for the job, they had two players sit in on the interview, and two of those were Mason Falsiv and Carson Templin. So immediate, getting to know these guys was he let the interview was like, I have to come here. I love these players. I love everything. So that's a that's a small, fun little tidbit where the immediate just faith and what Calhoun was going to bring to the table as well when he took over at Utah State. So something to think about. As far as the money side of things, there's a pretty cool article out there. I want to give shout out. Ira Gorawara wrote it. It's the kind of was talking about the whole going into the second round game Utah State had going up against Arizona. They had $2.4 million into their roster this past year. And a lot of players on the team said if we had access to more money, we think we could have been a Final Four team. A fun tidbit in that story is the fact that the number two, the second highest donor that Utah State had to their roster this past season. Do you guys want to give a guess on who it might have been?
I mean, I know the answer, so I won't guess.
Right.
I know as well.
I don't have a clue.
Jared
Calhoun gave $150,000 of his own money to better the roster. Supposedly he's a really great fundraiser. Something that we heard Wes was really good at. Getting boosters involved, getting all of that involved, and then on top of it, has the ability to went and met with bishops in the area to learn more about the religion and things that he was going to get involved with while at Utah State. So it's an awesome article. Go read it if you want. But yeah, just that's full dedication to the craft and trying to see what you can do to make yourself better in the situation. I think that's exactly what he's going to do at UC. So it's exciting, man. It's exciting. Now the thrill of what's next, roster building and this, that, and the other. It's going to be pretty cool to see what happens where. But Chad, Aaron, Ryan, you got any more tidbits you want to give on to old Jared Calhoun? I know we've got Lenny Stokes coming on at 9:30 scheduled, so we've got a pretty deep mailbag. Want to try and get that going, then have Lenny, or else this will be a 4-hour marathon podcast. I know Ryan Royer loves those, so we could be in for that. But
Or not.
anything more on Calhoun as we begin this new era?
No, I think it's one of the few times in sports where everyone seems to be in alignment, and this will kind of answer Tyler Jackson's question I'll put up on the screen. Fair to say this is the first time since Huggins you feel fans and media are all sold on him. Didn't feel like that with Mick, John, or Wes. I think most everybody was excited about Wes. I mean, in terms of what was available at the time that Cincinnati made the hire, I don't think there was a whole lot of people that were like, absolutely not, when Wes was hired. The fans were just happy to be out of the John Brandon era, per se. So I think that's a little bit of hyperbole, but we're at a point where there was a very, very small needle to thread here with not only, the decision to move on from Wes, which is exactly what the fan base wanted, and then the decision to go with Jared Calhoun pretty much as soon as he was available to get Jared Calhoun, I think was a good thing for all parties involved. So it seems like everybody's rowing the boat in the right general direction.
Awesome. Awesome.
Maybe they'll do something cool. I mean, I don't know this for sure. Maybe they'll do something cool and open the press conference so fans can attend. I think that would be pretty dope.
Wow. That would be dope.
Where usually it's like donors, right? Like the high level people. But I think it'd be pretty cool if they opened it up to everybody and let everybody in Fifth Third Arena to celebrate the hire.
Gosh, he has won at every single stop he's had. He has improved year in, year out at every single stop he's had. Impressive. Absolutely impressive. But Aaron, anything?
I think we've covered it all. I don't know how much more there is to say about an era that's 5 hours old.
That is excitement.
Yeah.
That is excitement if I've ever heard.
Give me a presser, give me a roster, and then I'm excited that it's starting, but we've talked about it for 50 minutes. I don't know that there's much more to say at this point.
I mean,
He's
I've
so
got
grumpy.
I know I've got a whole list of additional stuff. You know that, Chad, he wants to manufacture 40 points. This is Aaron's happy face. I agree. Chad, did you know that? Well, actually, I'm gonna point this over to my boy Aaron. Ryan, get ready soon though. But anyway, Aaron, did you know that Jared Calhoun wants to manufacture 40 points himself by the coaching staff every single game, whether it be after timeouts, blobs, whether it be bringing the ball up against a set defense. He wants to manufacture 40 points, and then obviously you get additional point value out when the players just kind of do what they can. But it's a coach that knows, hey, the players make the plays, but I also want to help them out a little bit too. So cool to see.
So what's the question that you're directing at me?
It's a podcast. Does everything need to be an interview?
You said I'm directing the question.
Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Directing the statement towards you.
It's so cool. So cool.
Thank you, bro. All right, let's go ahead and timestamp and we'll hop in the mailbag.
Give me a second. I was getting some more water. Jeez.
This timestamp brought to you by Ryan Royer. Stand it up. I like that, man. Golly.
Calhoun's bringing me to my feet.
Brought to you by our good friends at Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They service over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Pete Thamel just now. Breaking news. I don't know breaking, but Utah State officials and the team have been notified of Jared Calhoun's departure to Cincinnati. Per ESPN sources, per his contract, Utah State will be owed nearly $3.9 million, which the school plans to use for potential candidates in the NIL pool for next year. So, public news about the current topic. So, make it on the pod.
This would have been great. I don't know, about 90 seconds ago, but fun fact, Brent can't actually stand when we do this podcast.
Yeah, that is a fun fact.
He doesn't have any pants on.
I never do. Ever.
Smile or draw 4. Aaron holding 4 cards in his hand.
Draw.
Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious.
All right, Aaron, this is your time.
We're going right. No riffing this week, so we're going right into the mailbag.
We want to be ready for 9:30.
Yeah, I hear you. So we will start in the football portion of the mailbag as there is one whole question. Cats on the 25-yard line, 148 left on the clock with one timeout, down 4. All things being equal, what Bearcat quarterback in their history do you pick to drive down and win you the big game against a stout defense?
Tony Pike, because I've seen him do it.
Greg Cook.
I didn't see him do it.
Low hanging fruit, though, man.
Are we at Nippert? Because if we're at Nippert, it's Dez.
Aaron's faces look like Wes's faces in that video today.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I could agree with that.
That video.
Yeah, Des at Nip would be a good pick. Yeah, Tony Pike under Brian Kelly. All good picks. Yeah, I know who I'm not picking in the month of November. But that's about it. Ryan, I'm gonna take your answer for you. Des.
Sorry. Restroom break.
Cats on the
140, all things being equal.
148 left. Down 4.
Des, come on, man.
There we go, baby.
It's my guy.
The Nashville legend.
Yeah.
Broadway.
Yes, sir.
All right. That ends the football portion of the mailbag. Let's move on to the basketball portion of the mailbag. If you could choose any former Bearcat player or assistant to have on the Calhoun staff, who would it be?
Oscar Robertson.
Hell of a draw. Yeah, I let's roll with some players that have coaching experience. It would be, obviously DeMar, James White. Hell, I'd be okay with Nick Van Exel coming back and having himself on the some sort of a support staff role. I mean, if you had to choose a former Bearcat player, so
or assistant, which is why I'm going to go with Mamadou Njai, because that means Mustafa Cham is back wearing a CPAW next year.
Wow, there look at you using your big brain.
Chess, not checkers.
That's very nice. Look at the big brain on Aaron. And then Chad's going to come over the top and say Corey Evans, and then he'll be the one that got the answer correct, and then be like, "Told you."
I'm going with just a selfish pick. Is that okay? No
holds barred.
Kyle Washington.
Oh, yeah. Where's he at right now? Still at Loyola?
No, I didn't know. I didn't realize this. This got by me. He's on the staff at Florida State.
Oh,
he's the director of video and scouting at Florida State.
Wow. Okay.
Assistant sounds like an upgrade.
Yeah, it would be a step up, but he's worked his way up. He was at Iona for 2 years
co-signing
as a support staff. Mick is a great assistant. But yeah, I'm going Kyle Washington.
I thought you were going to say Denbrock as offensive coordinator.
There's nothing I'd love more than Denbrock back. Like,
you need a defensive coordinator.
Denbrock for head coach the next time the job comes open.
All right, we'll keep it moving. Is coach's first calls going to current UC players trying to retain who he wants?
What if he doesn't want anybody? I'm sure that there will be meetings. Yeah, like that you have a little extra time now. It's not as much like things are already in the middle of the portal being open and like shit's already chaos. You've got until April 7th. So I'm sure there will be meetings with whoever wants to meet or whoever might be interested in sticking around and seeing if there's a match there. It'll help having Corey Evans around kind of to provide a feel for things, a lay of the land, if you will. But yeah, I'm sure that'll happen.
I hope his first calls are going to establishing his staff.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of the Utah State staff is probably going to come with.
Pretty much in the works. Yeah, it's great timing though, especially with the change on the time that it's that the portal opens. It's kind of a good time to get your ducks in line and really come up with a plan right away. So
Does Calhoun have a strength and conditioning guy? If not, I think we know a guy.
I mean, I think he does, but I don't think it is like a. It's different in basketball. Like in football, it is very much like this is my guy. That's not really how basketball operates. So generally coaches, I mean, unless you've had like you've been somewhere and you've had a guy that you have a great connection with, but it's not the same in basketball as it is in football. I know UC would, I mean, I think in an ideal world, prefer to have Mike Rayfeld stay because I think he does a lot more than just basketball strength and conditioning. I think he kind of runs the whole department. So that would be ideal. But he does have a guy, but I don't think it is like this guy's been with him since Youngstown, since he was at Fairmont State or whatever. Like, it sounds like it's up for interpretation.
I saw that some were saying that her name is Paul Molinari, who's his chief of staff. He's been with Calhoun for a while. He was chief of staff at Utah State for a couple years. So I read somewhere that he's probably coming with Calhoun. So that's the name to pencil in, if you will. So,
do you think he will hire a defensive coordinator? And if so, who?
Yes, I do. Who? No idea.
Right. Yeah.
No idea. Like I'm sure the people at Utah State weren't like digging through the Northern Kentucky University assistant coaching staff to find the guy that was going to run the 25 matchup zone when he got hired to Utah State. Like it could be anybody. Maybe we'll have a better idea when we get the press conference. I don't know. Like there's rumblings of Wednesday. I don't know that for sure, but there's, that's kind of the chatter that's out there right now. But yeah, I think he will, or at least somebody that's kind of their focus on staff, and go from there.
Well, speaking of staff, what will the coaching staff look like? And if GM Adams, I think you meant Evans, is still with the program?
It'll look like 5 assistant coaches. 3 of them will have recruiting responsibilities. 2 of them will be based, in more coaching, player development. Like, I know last year, like Tim Buckley was not a recruiting assistant, but was an assistant. And then Jalen Stowe was more like player development, but also one of the 5 assistants. So that's what it'll look like. Like I said earlier, I expect Corey to be with the program. That's, as with everything when a new coach is hired, subject to change, but at least leading into the hire, that was my understanding.
All right. Does our NIL budget stay the same, or does that depend on Calhoun meeting with donors?
It always depends on the coach meeting with donors.
It's always fluid.
There are some outside other sites that are throwing out numbers and whatnot. So
I've talked to people tonight. I was told nobody, like that is not a, like, I'm sure that they've talked about this is where we think it's going to be, or like, you know, whatever.
Right.
That is not a number that I would even feel comfortable reporting at this point, other than to say, I fully expect Cincinnati's going to have a competitive NIL. Might it be just a slight tick lower in year one because you're paying $3.1 million for Wes Miller's buyout and $3.9 million for Jared Calhoun's buyout? Like, you've got $8 million in lump sum buyouts that you're responsible for. Maybe it's a tick lower, but I don't think Calhoun would come here if they were going to be like, look, you got $5 million to play with this year. And then next year, we promise it'll be good. Like, I don't think that would fly.
as mentioned though a little bit ago, he is highly touted for being a great fundraiser and immediately hitting the ground running. So hopefully that that pays its dividends.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, is this the least amount of money you've made from a coaching search?
I've done all right. I mean, we didn't have the like avalanche of membership that we had when Luke retired or retired. When Luke, surprisingly bolted. That was an avalanche. This was like a long, steady rain.
Retiring might have been better than taking the Wisconsin job, but
yeah, he might have. Now he might wish he retired.
If you could only keep one eligible player off last year's roster, who would it be? Consider Chom as a $3.5 million man in your answer.
Tillery. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think a tough, competitive point guard that gets to the paint, gets paint touches would be super effective in the way that Calhoun wants to play basketball. Or a sleeper for me would be Jordy. I think Jordy Rodriguez would be really good in Jared Calhoun's system. But yeah.
A sleeper for me would be Sean Abayev, because I wonder what he could actually do with an offensive coach.
Yeah. I think he's got a lot of offensive skills. Ed, tell your youngest that, yeah, they'll have a basketball camp. That's one of the big money-making things that coaches do. So, yeah, I would almost guarantee there will be a Jared Calhoun basketball camp this summer.
Brent, who are you keeping off last year's roster?
You know what? I guess I'll give a little bit of my own money to bring Chom back.
Ryan?
Mine as well. That would be great to keep him.
Just going to have to drink a couple extra Cincy Lights.
A million. I'll do it.
All right. Which players at Utah State could you see as Big 12 starters, and which could you see as contributors, 7 to 8 man rotation?
False left starter.
Elamine,
yes, starter, definitely 6-7 man rotation.
Perryman, is that the big guy?
No, that's the point guard, freshman point guard.
Yeah. What's the big guy?
The Carson Templin.
Yeah, Templin. That's the one.
6'7" guy.
Bench big.
Yeah.
Like we saw
Energy.
not going to be a starting big in the Big 12 based on what we saw last night, but a guy that can, provide. Look, you got 15 spots. Like if you fill 4 or 5 of them with guys that were on a team that took Arizona tooth and nail in the round of 32, you could do worse.
Mm-hmm.
You could do worse.
Yeah.
How did this get in there? How did this get in the mailbag? We'll keep it moving. If Utah State beats Arizona, would John Cunningham have been working on plan B and C? Really wondering how firm the deal was for Calhoun to UC was. Understand you might not be able to directly say.
I think they still would have waited.
Yeah, no.
I think that, from all intents and purposes, it sounds like this thing was really far down the road before they bounced a ball in the NCAA tournament. It would have been really bad for me because that means it probably would have gone into next week when I'm not going to be here, when Keegan is going to be in this box all week. But,
Yeah, the funny thing, next Monday would have been the 30th. So say they beat Arizona, unless they're going to go to the Final Four, we're having this exact same podcast next Monday, but with with Keegan running the 1s and 2s with actually, Chad, if that happened, I bet you'd probably be locked in and joining from wherever you are remotely, because you would be like, I gotta come.
It's not that Keegan guy sucks, Kanickerson. It's that it's my job to be here, and next week I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here for the shows. I wouldn't be here for the press conference. Keegan's already told me he's excited to get a new staff so that he can get to know everybody and not just like, me introducing him to everybody. Like, he's already trying to like push me out.
Oh, wow. Big time. And I love it, Keegan. I love it. Just hit me up when you're at the top. Don't forget about me, brother. It's about it. But no, I mean, that is
Chris, I think he realizes I sign his checks. That's all he needs to realize.
What are you looking for in Calhoun opening press conference?
understanding. I mean, opening press conferences are what they are. It's not gonna be a dud at all. I just go out there, understand, touch back on some things that you had from your time here and your experiences, and kind of just remind everyone, hey, listen, I am one of you guys. Let's bring us back to the tournament and even more, and then just juices are flowing, and before you know it, it's like, yes.
I'm actually
John
looking
McCain.
for.
Oh, I like that.
I'm looking for what alumni show up or what their reactions are, specifically the ones that were here when he was here, and what kind of support that they're giving in regards to his opening press conference. I think that'll tell a story itself.
Careful, Brent. Touching tips will be banned when Keegan owns speaks.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Ryan. We'll have to just start our own,
We won't hide who we are. We will not run from it.
The TTP, I like it. The Touch of Tips podcast. Welcome to the TTP, and then we'll just it'll just be me and you. We'll find like new ways to do it. We'll like our noses. But yeah.
All right.
Crypt Keeper's in there. Lock it in.
Can we get a timeline on the hire?
I mean, I think we've touched on about all we can really get to now. Like, it sounds like
all this tip touching maybe would have gone with a different word on how much we've touched on anything at this point.
Fair. It's fair. It sounds like things were in motion during the week last week. It would lead one to believe that by the time Utah State departed Logan, Utah for the NCAA tournament, that the conversations that need to be had were in the bag. I don't think this came together while Utah State was on the plane flying from San Diego back to Utah. So I think a lot of this was pretty much handled before any of the tournament games were played, and then today it was just kind of a acceleration of the process.
Any idea if new staff will try to retain big man coach Njai for Cham to return?
I wouldn't count on Mustafa Cham coming back. I did see him Saturday.
Hold up now.
I did. We were at Avalanche Crepes on campus. Good spot if you've never been.
Told you he was excited to check out the Arizona versus Utah State game, huh?
I asked him if he watched the game the night before, and he said he did not.
Oh.
So.
I know Coach John Calhoun's top assistant took another job already, but any early indication on if he would bring anyone from current staff or be looking to fill with outside hires? Also, is this the most accomplished coach UC has hired ever in men's basketball? We can pretty much disregard the first question because we've answered that about every week you can at this point. But more importantly, is this the most accomplished coach UC has hired ever in men's basketball?
Well,
Yeah.
the only coach to win an NCAA tournament game that they've hired in UC basketball history, as hard as that is to believe. Never once hired a coach that had won a tournament game.
Crazy.
Division II runner-up, multiple regular season conference championships, multiple.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, it does feel like this is the most accomplished coach in program history. Paul Molinari already coming, guys. I get that, like, somebody tweeted it and everybody's he's going to be the chief of staff. Like, he's not an assistant, he doesn't recruit. I'm sure he's very important to what Jared Calhoun does and the type of success that he will have here, but okay, the chief of staff.
Are you downplaying what I said 30 minutes ago?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's the chief of staff. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Could this have been a less boring search if Shirts didn't agree to an extension at St. Louis, or was this always Calhoun no matter what?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it was kind of UC and Calhoun had already kind of locked eyes across the room at that point in time. I don't know if even Shirts being available would have made it all that, we talked about this like back in December and January. Like I thought there would be interest from Shirts, but it never felt like he was going to like aggressively pursue the Cincinnati job. I'm sure he would have listened if they called. Maybe the reason that he didn't sign that extension for 10 days was they did call and he listened. I don't know, but like, probably not. Borkowski, I just had the feeling from the jump, everybody in the sport kind of knew that Jared Calhoun was going to end up being the next coach at Cincinnati.
All right. I guess you just kind of wonder what's going on with Kansas State at this point.
What do you mean?
Who they hired?
Casey Alexander from Belmont.
Oh, did they hire him? I didn't even see that. I missed that.
That was like the day after Calhoun said
Okay.
thanks, but no thanks.
Well, may not be public knowledge, but it was widely discussed that the settlement was a UC-friendly deal. Does the $3.1 million that was settled on get mitigated at all by his new contract? If not, I would think it is a very favorable deal for Wes as well. $3 million lump sum and gets to double dip with the new contract.
I think it was very favorable for both sides. We talked about this a couple times when it happened last week. Like, I think both sides kind of got out of it what they needed to get out of it. Both sides got, UC got a little bit less money, knocked off the top. Wes was able to go get a job. UC was able to go get a new coach. Like, it kind of worked out best for all parties. The $3.1 million is lump sum, no mitigation, nothing. So it was just, here's your money, divorce. Like, we're going to go our separate ways. So yeah, I think both sides won. I know that's not how people like to think now. Only one side can win, damn it. But I think both sides made out pretty well.
Right. And on an A+ to F- scale, what do you get? What do you guys grade this higher?
Boys?
A+, pending.
I'll give it an A-.
Reasoning behind? A minus.
The only thing he has going against him is you still wonder. We haven't seen what the hire is at defense. You still are going to have something going on defensively, and also just the fact that he's done it at Utah State, but not in one of the power conferences. Just that would be the home run of all home runs if you had somebody who did that as well. But outside of that,
I mean, I guess if you like Brad Stevens or, like Eric Spoelstra, then yeah, that's
just saying.
Yeah, I can't think of it getting any better of options. Right. But I mean, like, it just depends. If you look at the question, like, like you say something like that, Brent, like, yeah, like a Brad Stevens. But like for what we have and like what he has and what he has done, yeah, it's hard to just go A+. So it wants me to just say A, but I can't really think of
right.
I
mean, initial
solid A
reaction.
I'm going solid A.
Yeah.
If it was A+ would have to be like established Power 5 coach that has made a couple deep runs in the tournament, whatever. Like,
yeah,
how would that ever be available?
Right. But I'm saying that's what it would take for me to give an A+.
Hypothetical land, yes.
Yeah. An A would be
Danny Hurley comes because he got 10% ownership in the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay.
Right. An A is you went out, there was a top candidate that had a connection to you, you had a connection to him, you got the job done, and that guy is now your head coach. Like that's a solid A to me in terms of the hire.
Yeah.
Now, we start grading on a different scale tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? The winning game scale starts tomorrow.
Love it.
We did have a donation here in the chat. Random question: how good was Vincent Banks? I believe you mean Rob Banks because you were talking about Tari Eason earlier, and I think
Rob Banks. He means Vincent Banks, and I never got to see him play, Chris. So he never made it on the court as a Bearcat. If you ask anybody that was around back in those days, he was awesome, but he never made it to the court.
I thought it was in reference to the Tari Eason coming off the bench for Rob Banks.
No, it was about Vincent Banks.
Fair enough.
It was one of those Huggins reclamation, Huggins give him a second chance guys that never saw the floor. Not as good as Alvin Mitchell. I would have guessed Vincent Banks was probably better than Alvin Mitchell.
All right. Let's try and get through this quick, though. The first time we've hired from tier 1 of an OG version of a hot board. That's the last question in the basketball mailbag.
I mean, he was the number 1 guy, and we got it right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Good job, Keegan.
We got the guy.
We got the guy.
Diamond Bearcat questions will be on Thursday. So move it to the Banks. Do you think the administration would allow Dave to sit in your place at the opening press conferences if you were 3 time zones away, or would we need Dan Simon to take your place?
Dave
hat and sunglasses.
He'd probably need a disguise.
Hat and sunglasses. full get up. Let's go.
He probably need a disguise. Mustache.
Give me Dan Simon all day. And what was your first car, and did it have any mechanical idiosyncrasies? Like, could you start it without a key? The driver's window wouldn't go down, etc.
God, it was a monster, like 79 Monte Carlo that like literally took up like a lane and a half on the road. It was so big. It was a mess. The whole thing had idiosyncrasies. Like the car was an idiosyncrasy. It should not have been on the road. But that thing's probably still alive somewhere. Like, that is how much of a tank that son of a bitch was. But yeah.
My first car was a Nissan. I had a Nissan 200 SX. It was 2-door. And and the only idiosyncrasy it had was the driver driving a stick shift who burned up the transmission in the first 6 months of owning it. But after that, it was smooth sailing. I tried to take it to my friend in college wanted to go to a racetrack and see how fast our cars were, and I destroyed the clutch that day. Destroyed it.
After the Monte Carlo, I got a Datsun hatchback, and that's when I learned that you have to change oil in cars.
Oh, fair.
What did you have?
Royer, first car.
2000 Volvo S40.
Of course. Yuppie.
Don't know what the heck that
That
is.
was not a yuppie car, man. It was a
Did Volvo's
15 years old.
did it have the little headlight windshield wipers?
Yep, it had those. It was my grandpa's car. He wasn't able to drive anymore, so just gave it to me.
Here you go, Ryan. This is
It lasted, I think, 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
What's good, Ron?
What
I-
did you have, Brent?
I had a GMC Envoy, little SUV, if you will. Did what it needed to, got me from A to B, and then my dad wanted to drive it because like it had more like stuff, like room, so he could take stuff to work and whatnot. So my dad let me drive his car, and I totaled it, and it was not good. And it was paid off, and it was his baby, and it's not good.
That checks out.
Yeah,
I know I'm old, but Royer's first car being a 2000 hurts my heart. I mean,
I was driving in 2015.
My car would have been 21 years old when Royer's car was born.
I think mine was like 2007 or 2000.
All right. Look at that timing. Look at that timing.
Oh,
I can do my camera if you guys don't mind me being in this restaurant.
I don't care.
Okay, let's do it then, man. We're here. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, you got to show us what you ordered first. Is it?
I'll show you the staff. This whole staff is in here, man. They love me in here.
Oh.
I got a little vino. I got a little vino, man. I put my vino aside, man. But
that place is good.
Well, last minute, man, I'll do anything for Chad and you guys, man. So you guys are always good, man. Bearcat faithful, man. Always, support. You guys are always good, man. So always do what we can for you guys, man.
There we go. Aaron, want to go ahead with the introduction? I mean, no introductions needed, but I mean, it's Lenny freaking Stokes on
Yeah,
camera.
buddy. I mean, I just want to know you've known Coach Calhoun for such a long time now, and I'm just kind of curious.
I can't hear anyone.
Can't hear us?
Can you hear us? You good? Yes? No?
Lenny, can you
Yeah, I
hear
got
us?
you now. I can hear now. I can hear now.
Okay.
Chad,
I can hear you, Chad. And I can't hear the rest of the guys though.
Just Chad. All right, take it away.
All right.
We'll just do it like this then. Screw those guys.
I couldn't hear them. Seriously, I couldn't hear them, man. Those are my guys too, man.
Lenny, how did you meet Jared Calhoun? I know obviously it was while he was here as a student assistant, but take us through those early impressions of Jared when he first got here.
So when he first got there, I was gone already, but I will come back. We will always come back in the summers to work out and do our training and do everything. So got to know Jared when he was younger, man, but he was always the same ambitious. He's just a student, man. Like he's just very astute. He wants to learn. He's always intrigued, man. And I think that's what's gotten him to where he is as a coach, man. He learns from the best of them, man. He learned from Hugs. He learned from Mick. He's done some really good things, man. He's put together a real good program at Utah State.
Can you guys?
Can you hear me now, Lenny?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now. Yeah, for sure.
There we go. So, well, first off, happy early birthday.
For sure. I appreciate that.
They kind of set it up so that this was an early birthday present for you.
For sure.
Bring Calhoun back. But I guess what is the excitement that having, an alum and having someone that has the familiarity of what Bearcat basketball at its height truly was, coming back and being able to be the head coach now after what was it's kind of been a struggle not being able to say, "Hey, we're at the NCAA tournament again." But you bring in a coach like Calhoun who has that knowledge of what the program used to be.
Yeah, I think I think he's and again, I love West. I love their staff. I just, I hate that they fell short because I think West is a great person. I think his staff was great. I think they fell short. But I think with Jared, I think we have I think we've got a guy like-minded who understands the program, understands where it needs to be and where it needs to get to, and I think he'll push. I think he'll push that, man. I mean, he's done great at Utah State, man. I mean, to go out there and to take that program to the tournament 2 years in a row, I think is great, man. I think I think coming to UC. Power Four conference. I think he'll come in and I think he'll do well, man. I think he'll put some toughness back into the program. I think he'll push through, man. But a lot of respect for Jared, man. I've known Jared since I've been young, man. So he's in my book, he's fine. I think he'll put his best foot forward.
When did you get the sense that this was real? That he could end up being the next guy to coach the Bearcats? You don't have to get too detailed. You don't have to
Yeah,
get
I
too
won't,
detailed.
I won't do that. Probably November when I talk to him in November.
November. All
November.
right.
November.
What was there? Did you talk to him today? Has there been any communication?
There's always communication. Jared is like outside of basketball. Jared's my friend. Like he's my friend, man. I've been with him since when I would come back and he was just a student trying to figure his way out, and then he's with Hugs in Morgantown. I was down there for that, and then he gets to Youngstown State. I mean, he's paid his dues, man. He's done well, and I think he's earned the respect, man, of the guys, man. I think Hugs respects him, Mick respects him. The former guys, we all respect him. I think he. I mean, again, he's taking Utah State to the tournament 2 years in a row, man. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: over Utah State, if a letter came to my place, I was Mr. Basketball of New York. If a letter came from Utah State, I don't know how much they're paying. It's a different world, but I don't know. I don't know how inclined I would be to go to Utah State.
Logan, Utah. That's not for you. You don't think?
Yeah. It won't be for me, man.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask. Is what other guys have you talked to?
But Chad, how are you guys feeling, man? Is there excitement? I mean, how are you guys on your side? How are you guys feeling?
Great. I think it fits. Like, I think it's a logical progression for where this thing needs to go to get back on track. It pulls kind of everything together. There's some of that old blood, but it doesn't feel forced, if that makes sense. It feels kind of natural that he went about it, took all the steps, did all the things, made a name for himself, and now you get a chance to come back and see how it can go where you started. I think it pulls the fan base together. I think it gives John Cunningham fresh life as athletic director to get this done, to get this thing across the finish line. Like, I think it's good for everybody, really. Uh-oh. He didn't like that.
Nah.
Nope. Didn't like it at all.
He said, actually, I think it's horrible. So I'm going to hop off. Here we go.
But you didn't like that answer?
No, I just hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I was trying to put the volume up. But yeah, I mean, that's all good stuff, man. I just think we want to be relevant. I think and again, I don't want this to come across because I love and respect West and what they did. And I think they just fell short a little bit. But, I just, for us, man, it's just no tournament, man. It just doesn't seem right for us. Tournament time is our exciting time. We're, even if we don't think we're going to win the whole thing, man, we want to be in the tournament at some point, man. So I think Jared will get us back there, though. Confident in him.
What's one thing, you being a former player, like during the greatest eras of Cincy basketball, or that you're looking for specifically in Jared Calhoun to bring back and build off of?
I mean, I talked to Jared. He knows what's expected, though. I mean, he's one of us. He knows it. So I don't think there's much to talk about. I think leave him alone, let him do what he's gonna do, and he'll get us. I mean, did you see the atmosphere at Utah State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those home games. I mean, they were. I mean, I was watching. So I think he gets us back there, and I think he's going to do that. So to me, just let him do what he's going to do. He's going to be great at that. And just get out of his way, man. I think he'll do great, man. I
Lenny,
just
what
don't
do you?
like. To me, man, I don't like. I didn't like the comments by by Houston coach, man, where they were, where we used to be. This used to be the program. What do you mean, man? Like, what do
Right.
you mean used to be? I mean, you base your whole deal off of who we were. Your identity is us. So I don't like that. And I think we got to get back to competing so we can look them in the face and say, listen, guys, this is our league now. Step out of the way. And I think we can get back to that. Though.
Love
Have
it.
you talked to any of the other former guys about the news? Have you talked to any of your teammates or any of the other Bearcats about the news, Lenny? Uh-oh. He can't hear us again.
Chad,
Lenny,
I can't.
you got me?
Lenny, can
Okay,
you hear
okay.
me?
I
Oh,
can hear you. I can hear you.
all right. Uh, have you talked to any of the former players about the news?
I did. I talked to Steve. Me and Logan are like, that's my brother. We're in the backcourt together. So I talked to Logan earlier today. I mean, everyone loves it, man. We all know who Jared is, man. We know what he brings to the table. He's gonna be good, man. He's got all the support, man. I think he'll do well. We all feel the same way, man. We need to get back to the tournament. We need to get to be back competitive. We need to be back to fighting. And again, and not again. I respect West, man, but I
Right.
think we got to get back to that consistently.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat with Wes, because it just sucks he wasn't able to get over the
Didn't
hump.
work.
But
For sure.
uh, but as far as it goes, I'm in a fanboy for a second, wearing that number 13, just scoring buckets. As you did in your career, coming in, Calhoun's known more as an offensive coach, if you will.
For sure.
I mean, you guys were Bearcat toughness defense was a team, but you could score the ball too. I mean, you were an offensive minded team too. So what do you think kind of implementing an offensive surge and knowledge that Calhoun has with implementing the Bearcats defense and toughness that everyone's accustomed to?
What'll be interesting to see is how he puts the roster together, right? Like you've got some guys that are still sitting there because again, NIL pushes you to say if you jump in the portal, you're not getting paid. So we've got guys sitting. He's got guys at another school. We've got other opportunities. So I think he'll put together a good product to push out there. I think if he can mix some of what he has out there and get those guys to come, and then also get some of our guys to stay, I think that's a good product, though. And if he can coach those guys to push through, I think we're where we need to be. I think offensively he's gonna coach that, but he's got some. I mean, you don't get to the tournament, man, without being good defensively as well, man. So I think we'll give him some grace early. I think we'll still push. I mean, to be honest, man, if we win our non-conference games and we're 500 in the league, we should make the tournament every year. I mean, that's not rocket science, right? I mean,
And
that's
that's not a high bar.
Eastern Michigan, the rest of these schools. You can't lose to these schools. You got to beat these schools, win, and then go 500 in the league, and you'll win. And then every year, just get better and better and better. I mean, we're not asking them to win the national championship his first year, but just just do better than where we were. Get us back to relevancy. That's all we want.
If he
I mean, it
does
would be
win the
okay
first
if he
national
did.
championship, yeah, that's the first year
For
national
sure. I'm
championship.
I'm I'm
I'd be
I'm,
okay with
I'm
that.
pissed that I can't hear Chad right now.
He's saying, first year national championship, that's okay if he wants to do that. That's
Yeah,
okay.
without a doubt, though. And I'm in full agreement with it. But yeah, I just think, man, I think I think he'll do. I think he'll get us. I think he'll get us there, man. I think he can put a team together. I think he's polished enough to understand. He's older enough to understand, the ins and outs of the political pieces that go into it. I think we've got a good guy, though, man. I think we got a good guy.
Can you hear me yet? Can you hear me now? You still not hear me?
Right? Can you translate? Can you translate what?
Yeah.
I,
Actually, this will be fun for the podcast
oh my
listeners.
god!
What we're doing now is I'm going to translate Chad's question. Chad, go ahead. And speak it
For
like
sure, for sure, for
exuberantly,
sure, for sure.
like really push it out. Do the
Yeah, push
Chad,
it out there, man.
and then I'll mimic it. Go ahead.
Chad is my guy. I love Chad, by the way.
Are we gonna see Lenny around? Like, am I gonna have to make part of my pregame routine checking in with Lenny?
are we going to see Lenny around? Like, am I going to have to make seeing Lenny part of my pregame routine?
I am. I'm telling you why you didn't see Lenny was it was just tough to drive down the road when we're gonna get. I'm in Columbus, man, so it's a little bit tougher. But I'm around, man. You know, we will win, and all those kids will tell you. I mentor, I help out, I talk to them as much as I need to. But we've got to win games, man. I mean, that is what it boils down to at the end of the day. Mick was there, we won games. Huggins was there, we won games. We've got to win games, man. Just win, baby. That's the same, man. All the rest of the stuff is fine. That cures it, though. We got to win games, man. And again, even if we're not, we're not going to win the national championship. Just get us to the tournament, man. Get us to the tournament, man. The city is more vibrant during the tournament. I mean, you look at places, Holy Grail, a lot of these places. I mean, when UC's playing, those places are packed, filled, just because of that. And I told Jared this. I said he knows this. Since he's a blue collar city, man, people work hard for their money and they spend it on what they want to spend it. When I was at that West Virginia game that later in the season, and I saw the attendance, I said, "This is Bearcat fans.
Right.
They're in here because they didn't have to be in here, and they were there. So let's give them something to be proud for and to stand up for. And that's all I say, man. I love our fans. Our fans deserve the world, man. I walk around that city. All of us, man, they recognize, they take pictures. And this, for me, and I told Chad this before, it's gotten to me where it's like, hey, Lenny, take a picture with me. Then it goes to, hey, take a picture with my son. Take a picture with my grandson. I'm almost on the great grandson side of it.
Okay.
But I mean, that is what Bearcat basketball is all about, man. And we love it. I mean, to walk around that city, man, and be recognized 20 plus years after still is a testament to our fan base, and they deserve what they deserve, man. And we have a great fan base, man. Great fan base.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, like that CPAW is just it truly is legendary. And I had a buddy who was out in Vegas this past week and Utah as well, kind of ironically, but he said just everywhere he walked, people are shouting out, go Bearcats, this, that, the other. So yeah, the
Sure.
fan base it does deserve it, and by all accounts, Calhoun is a great fundraiser. He's a great guy that wants to go out there, get the community heavily involved, and just win, which is the main thing about it. I mean, you look everywhere he's gone, he's won, and there's nothing that can really discount just the ability to figure out ways to win. So
yeah, I mean, he's one of some tough. I mean, Youngstown State. I mean, for him to win, I mean, he's coaching some places, man. So, but again, he's always been a good guy, tough, hard nosed guy, man. And I think he'll get it done for us, man. I really believe. And he's already reached out to a lot of the other former guys. So, he's called guys, he's talked to guys, man. I text him today. We talk. I'm gonna talk with him tomorrow. So, I mean, he's good, man. I think we're in good hands, man. He's got a job to do, so we won't bother him. We'll let him do his job. And again, man, I think he'll put together something special for us, man. Hopefully, man.
Were you worried last night that
Translate Chad for me, man. I need that. Man.
That he was going to beat Arizona, and this thing was going to take another week to play out?
Were you worried last night that he was going to beat Arizona, and then this thing was just going to take another week to figure out?
I was not. I love Jared to death, but they weren't that good. There was no worry. There was no worry in my book that they were going to beat Arizona, man. And Bradley, and listen, I love Bradley. He's their player. He's from Rochester, which is down the street from Buffalo. So he's done well, man. So I know him and his family. So he does well. But I didn't think that Utah State was going to go beat Arizona, though. But listen, though, when the CPAW's on now, I'm expecting us to beat Arizona every time.
Hey, you and me both. Chad, you got another one? This is kind of fun, if I'm being honest.
No, I will let Lenny get back to dinner, but unless you got more, Brent.
No,
we'll save that for another pod.
Real quick, I want to brag on my friend Lenny.
No. Let him fly, man. Come on, man.
Aaron, can you hear Aaron?
I love Aaron too, by the way. Go ahead. What is it? What I can't hear Aaron either.
Okay, good.
Just
Good.
real
I've
quick,
got a
I
good
wanna-
Aaron impression.
I
Let's
want to
go,
I
Aaron.
want to brag on my friend Lenny and say
I don't know why it's not.
that his company has been doing
I don't know why
really
it's
really
not
well
playing.
this
That's
year.
right.
I don't know what kind of details he
Lenny,
wants to give out, but
try and press that button that you pressed that like kicked you out, and then come back in. Because
Okay.
Aaron's asking a really good question.
All right, let me try.
All right.
we'll see. This has been madness, absolute madness.
This is what you get from the BCJ Podcast Network. Us
200
asking questions and Brent translating to Bearcat great Lenny Stokes the questions.
200 plus people in here, and this is what we're giving them.
I mean, it's been great. It's been great. He's gonna pop back in. I mean, Ryan even peppered him with a good chat. The
Well-
funny thing is he can hear Ryan and I. So is this technically the TTP?
All right,
Okay,
let's see if he's got me now. Do you got me, Lenny?
I got you. I got everybody. I got
All
you.
right.
Chad,
All right.
you there, Chad?
I'm here. You got me?
I got everybody.
Wow.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh wow.
Lenny, I just wanted to brag on you real quick. I don't know how much you want to give out about what your company's been doing, but you've been telling me what your company's been doing, and congratulations on the year that you had, sir.
I appreciate that, man. I got to throw out a pitch at the first pitch at the Reds game here pretty soon, but yeah, look, it's not about me right now. Listen, I'm an old man. I've had my time, man. It's about these younger guys and what's going on now, man. Where I'm excited about what we've got, though. Man. I'm excited about that. Man.
You know, the sponsorship for the podcast network's up for you can the Lenny Stokes Podcast Network or whatever you want it to be. Bro.
Chad, listen, you text me about everything else. Text me, man. You know you my guy, Chad. You know you my guy, man.
Are you coming down? Rumor is this thing might be Wednesday, or like are you gonna try to make it down?
I got a text. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow. So I'll be there.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be where I need to be, man. You know, I'll be where I need to be. But I think it's exciting, man. I think we've got. I think Jared really understands. You know, he's an alum. He understands what needs to happen and how it needs to happen. And I think and just to be honest, I think he wanted the job, man. I think he turned down Kansas State. I think there were opportunities for him to do other things, man. But I think he wants to come in and kind of prove himself and solidify himself as the next Bearcat coach. That's great.
There are reports on CBS today that this has been done for a week. Can you confirm or deny those reports, or can you just smile?
Listen, man, I love my university. I love the staff. I love everybody, man. So listen.
Just a big smile. That's all we need.
Big smile, man. I'm glad we got it done, man. I'm glad we got it done, man.
Well, I'm glad we can get you on here.
Kudos to Chad's got a great agent. I think John Cunningham did an amazing job. I think the staff at UC did a great job. I think this is going to be a great hire for men's basketball. I really truly believe that. Though. I think they did this the right way.
I love it.
I think we need to figure out at some point this summer when things settle down, you and Jared with me on a show to just let you two kind of chop it up.
Yeah, we'll try. I mean, I'm really good friends with Jared, man. Jared, I've known Jared since I've been young, man. But I mean, I've watched him grow. He even before all this. Hey, good job, coach. He'll call me, Lenny. I need some toughness, some players, man. Who you got in Buffalo? He knows my whole family. He knows my family. He knows everybody, man. So I think we can make that happen, man. I think once he gets settled in, he'll recognize who's who and what's what. But he's one of us for sure. No, he is one of us for sure.
What City Rocks? What AAU program are you connected to now?
So I was the Upstate All-Star. So it was me. Lionel Chalmers was on my team. So it was me, Lionel, and before that it was like Lamar Odom, Elton Brand. I mean, we just cranked out. It was players getting cranked out, man. So I mean, we pushed, man. So, but that was in the
City
older
Rocks
days.
now.
City Rocks is still around. That's Albany. Albany's probably 4 hours away from Buffalo, though.
Okay, but that was kind of the upstate New York, at least in the EYBL. That was the.
It was. After probably 2003, 4, they really were the elite team for upstate New York. Our team kind of I don't want to say
faded?
dissolved, but we had like Marcus Camby sponsored us. We had a bunch of like NBA guys that Danielle Marshall, like a lot of those guys sponsored our teams.
Okay.
So we had, me, Lionel, Julius Page. I went to Pitt. I mean, we had really good players. We cranked out. I mean, we always made the top six in Vegas in the big tournament, man. So we always had good players, man.
Love it. I love it.
All right.
Gosh.
Get back to dinner, brother. Thank you for taking time out. We appreciate it.
Always
And,
chatting.
I'm
Love
sure
and respect
you're
for you
gonna
guys, man. Love and
you're gonna
respect
be
for you guys, man.
you're gonna be a regular now. Like,
Let me know, man.
you're our
You
connect.
got my number, man. Just text me, man. You're always, man. You're one of my favorites, man. You, Aaron,
Appreciate
all
it.
you guys, man. Brent, all you guys, man. Ryan, all you guys are solid, man. So whatever you guys need from my side, let me know. Reach out, man. If I can help bridge the gap with anything with Jared, man. Jared is a good person, good human being, solid. He's a Bearcat, and I know he's gonna want us to do well. I mean, I know that for a fact because we've already talked about that. But let's give him some space to get in, get settled. Kind of get the roster together and push through, man, because we got to get back to where we need to be.
Awesome.
When you talk to him tomorrow, put in a good word for me.
I will. I got you. You know that.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank
All right,
you.
guys.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Lenny.
guys.
Lenny,
Thanks, buddy.
good
Appreciate you
man.
guys. Love,
There
man.
you go.
Thanks a bunch. All right, there we go. Aaron, hell of a job, brother. Chad, hell of a job.
I didn't do much. I let you
Well,
guys.
I just
He couldn't hear
stopped.
me, so I just bounced out.
Couldn't hear
Well,
me
you know
either.
what? We'll definitely. I mean, that's an obvious come back on in the summer podcast guest,
Yeah.
and obviously because when you Chad, when you said
He knows
hey,
a lot more than he could say.
right, but when you said Brett, do you have any more questions? I was like, I mean, are we going to start to talk about the early 2000s Bearcats teams?
No, this is
he
just
didn't
Jared
want to-
Calhoun tonight.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't want to talk about him.
No, I know, but I
Good
did.
humble man.
I will need to then thank him in the summer show for the countless jersey parties that I was able to tear down wearing his number 13 jersey. I've got a picture of it, which is one of the fun jerseys. But yeah, it's different combo for a different time. But yeah, I mean, you could tell big time friend. And Aaron, that was very nice of you to mention his company, and also wanted to shout out his birthday next week. Just all things considered, just a great time to be a Bearcat.
I mean, are we going to talk about the November comment? UC lost to Eastern Michigan on November 26th.
Yeah.
So do with that information what you will.
Interesting.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, like,
Interesting.
Mailbag's done. Lenny's done. Brent, let's get us out of here.
well, we didn't get to riff with Royer today, so
I'll come
I
locked and loaded.
did we want one TTP like real fast before we get out of here? One TTTT.
Yeah, Brent.
All right, it's off air, but it's happening. I can feel it. All right. Well, hey guys, new era begins. New era begins. Jared Calhoun, welcome
Oh boy.
to the University of Cincinnati Bearcats.
Thanks
Boy,
to
oh boy.
the couple hundred people that were in here checking us out tonight, by the way.
That's excitement.
Great
Excitement.
crowd.
Yes.
75% off Bearcat Journal.
Hey, shouts.
Don't need
to
a
that.
promo code. Don't need
Nope.
nothing. Just click
Don't need
join.
any of that.
75% off.
You mentioned promo code and you forget it instantly, so you don't even need that. But yeah, shouts to Quick Paper Supply. Shouts to Danco Transmission. Shouts to Greg Hood. And shouts to Leonard Stokes. How about that, Lenny? Lenny coming on and gracing us with his presence. And I am still going to say shouts to my boy Ryan Royer, the GOAT, the absolute legend. But hey, guys, the new era is here. It's exciting, and Bearcat Journal is going to have everything for you as more and more comes from this new beginning. So for everyone, for the crew, for the squad, for Aaron Smith, for Chad Brendel, and for Ryan Reuter, I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.